This tutorial will show you how to mix a blue-orange limited palette using oil paints. I'll show you how I order my palette and how to mix each color. Plenty of artists have used limited palettes, but when I think of a blue-orange palette, my first thought is Van Gogh. His sunflowers, irises, Cafe Terrace at Night, and Starry Night paintings all are great examples of this limited palette. Blue and orange are an example of complementary colors. Complementary colors are opposite on the color wheel, so using them in a painting can provide high contrast while still looking pleasing to us. All you need for this is blue paint, I use ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, or another similar red, a bright yellow like cadmium yellow light, yellow ochre to act as a neutral, and white paint. I use titanium white. You'll also need at least 2 palette knives, a surface to mix paint, and a palette to store it. I prefer this smaller tapered palette knife. I'll first show you how my palette is laid out. I need to mix some additional paint for paintings I've already started, so this is what it looks like after already being in use. I start with darker colors, including black, on the top. Anything I mix with blue goes on the left side, anything with orange on the right. In between colors, like my greens, pinks, and purples, go in the middle. On the bottom, I have my mixing colors, white for cool tone, yellow ochre for neutral, and cadmium yellow for brightening and warming colors. You can see that you can mix a huge variety of colors with just the 5 tubes. It's great for both landscapes, and it makes beautiful skin tones for portraits. Let's start at the top. Blue is simple, coming straight out of the tube. To make orange, we'll start with roughly 2 parts red to 1 part yellow. Depending on your subject matter, you may later want to add more red for a reddish orange or yellow for a brighter orange. To start off, let's just get this basic orange so that we can make black. It's like cooking. You're balancing the flavors to get the taste you want. Next is black. We'll start with 2 parts blue and 1 part orange and see how we feel. The benefit of using this black versus another, like ivory or lamp black, is that it won't appear too shocking or out of place in your painting. When we spread it out, you'll see that it's not actually black, but more like a smoky gray blue. When it's concentrated on our canvas, it will appear black. If, while you're mixing, you find that it looks more olive than dark blue, just add a pinch of red to even it out. Let's do the blues next. To have a darker shade of blue, all you need to do is mix our black with our blue. Simple. I like to have 2 paths of blue. One, which is just pure blue mixed with white to get progressively lighter. Another is a duller, grayer blue using our black-blue mixture. I'll start by showing some examples. Depending on what I'm painting, I'll mix up 2 to 3 shades of each blue per palette. I add blue and white, then mix. Once fully mixed, I split in half. 1 half goes on my palette, the other gets mixed again with more white. I repeat until I have what I need. For the grayish blue, I add a touch of black, really just a little, otherwise it will quickly become too dark. Then, the same process of cutting in half and mixing. If you need any purple, you can mix red directly into any blue. To warm up a blue like this, you can also add some yellow ochre. Let's move over to the oranges and browns. As I said earlier, you can add more red or yellow to your orange depending on what you're painting. I brought some spices from my cabinet just to give an idea of some color mixes. For this paprika, I added some yellow ochre to lighten it up without it becoming too cool like if we had used white. Next is some turmeric. This is lighter and brighter, so first I add some cadmium yellow. A lot of cadmium yellow. Continuing on to browns. Our first brown is just black mixed with orange. This eventually gives us a lovely chocolate brown. From here, I gradually add white, orange, cadmium yellow, or yellow ochre to make a variety of beiges. I'll mix up a couple for you to see, but really it's just a process of trial and error to get the color you want. When using this palette for skin tones, I usually make sure to have a basic pink. I won't use all of this, but it's helpful to have on hand. To make it, all you have to do is mix red and white together. I always put a blob of straight red on my palette too. Finally, let's look at some greens. The simplest is just blue and yellow. It makes this sort of emerald green. This can be further modified by mixing white, cadmium yellow, or yellow ochre. Our last color is this olive green. Remember at the beginning that it was possible for your black to skew away from the smoky dark blue? If we're specifically looking for this color, take your black and add a touch of cadmium yellow or your yellow ochre. So, there you go. This isn't every single color you can make from this palette, but I hope it gives you the basics and lets you start having fun mixing paint. Please leave a comment below if you have questions about a specific color, or if you want to see other paint-related tutorials.